Bad and bullshit, bad, cooking up.
Frivolous lifestyles, flashy cars, huge mansions, gambling habits, and bad investments are just some of the reasons that cause NBA players to end up broke. Yes, broke. Because despite being paid giant paychecks, you can be liable for making terrible business decisions. So let's take a look at some of these NBA stars who, despite amassing a fortune, ended up being broke. From the 5 major names in the list, we start at number 5 with Darius Miles. Let's start off with some hard numbers from the top, that Darius Miles essentially earned about $62 million in career earnings and practically let it go in the drain. Famously quoting Miles from his self-written piece in the Players Tribune, "When you pop out the womb in East St. Louis, it's guns, drugs, and danger, from start to finish." Drafted straight out of high school into the flashy world of NBA, fame and fortune eventually took its toll for the worse. As per Slam magazine, in a claim submitted in June, the 34-year-old Darius Miles reportedly listed $1.57 million in liabilities, including $20,000 in child support and $100,000 in real estate debt. Also quoting Bellevue News Democrat, but injuries, legal problems, and bad investments have left Miles asking the court to allow him to sell off his assets to pay creditors. Miles listed over $460,000 in assets and $1.5 million in liabilities. Contrary to him blowing his money on a frivolous lifestyle, he admitted that his problems came from bad investments and deals gone wrong, including losing over $100,000 in a real estate deal alone. Reported by CNN, Miles had to auction a lot of his stuff, including an autographed LeBron James jersey that sold for $1,500, as well as thousands of DVDs and video games and expensive firearms, like a reportedly then $900 Ruger AR-556. A sad end to a career that could have been helped by sound financial advice. In his tell-all Players Tribune article, Miles cites meeting Michael Jordan, living it up with jet skis, and eventually understanding the shady business deals that contributed to his problems, along with a career-ending injury, while finally ending the article with "he alright," and you know what? We sure hope he is. Moving quickly to number 4, we have Larry Johnson, who went broke for reasons which are perhaps more troublesome than Darius Miles. Well, you see, TMZ Sports reported that Johnson was a deadbeat dad to not 1, not 2, but 4 baby mamas at the same time. Famously known as the grandmama, the number 1 pick from the 1991 NBA draft reportedly accumulated over $300,000 in debt, which included almost $120,000 as child support. The story took a turn for the strange when one of his baby mamas, Laura Tate, wanted to liquidate his assets to get her share of $870,000, because apparently the other baby mamas were getting more, and while she was reportedly entitled to $11,000 a month, was getting only $1,000 a month. Johnson filed bankruptcy, and reports of him ranging from him owing over $55,000 to one of his baby mamas to him owing over $2,000 for a dentist bill started making the rounds. And sad as it is, a career where he earned well over $80 million, he wasted all of it thanks to very questionable life choices and paternal pursuits. Moving to number 3, we have Joe Smith, another top pick, going number 1 in the 1995 NBA draft, who has played with some of the most storied franchises in the NBA. Joe Smith went 16 years strong in the NBA despite never landing a title. But you know what? That's not the story here. The story is that throughout his stint, he amassed career earnings of no less than $61 million. What's worse, he reportedly turned down an $80 million extension from the Golden State Warriors and dabbled into free agency, only to reap rotten fruits and landed himself in a highly problematic bird rights scandal. You see, a player must play 3 seasons with the same team via 3 one-year contracts, or a single 3-year contract for the said team to acquire that player's bird rights. And Minnesota tried to do it under the table to generate cap space, and later attempted to offer Smith a contract reportedly worth $86 million. The Los Angeles Times reported that all this went down when agents Eric Fleischer and Andrew Miller parted ways for a deal involving Kevin Garnett. After that, then Commissioner David Stern caught this illegal deal involving Smith and voided his final 3rd-year contract. And then Joe Smith became an NBA journeyman, which reportedly caused him to buy homes in the city of whichever team he was a part of, and he also alleged that one of his exes took about $100,000 from him. Owing more than $157,000 and having just about $3,000 in his account, Smith spoke to Alex Rodriguez, who started helping the fallen NBA star and his partner get back on his feet. Now, before we reveal our top 2, we would just be so grateful if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting content, and let us know in the comments section which NBA star you also know of who went broke. And now, our top 2 starts by featuring the notorious Latrell Sprawell on the number 2 spot, whose troublesome lifestyle cost him a ton of money, starting with talking about how he purchased a 70-foot-long yacht, which was seized by a federal marshal and later auctioned for almost half the price. Check out our video on the most stupidly expensive purchases by NBA players, where Sprawell also makes the cut for his Milwaukee's finest yacht. But apart from that, he has made multiple bad decisions leading to him going broke and owing up to reportedly $3.5 million in unpaid taxes. These also include turning down a highly lucrative $21 million contract, saying that he had family to feed. Going forward, he lost his houses owed to foreclosure, and he reportedly now currently lives in a modest rental unit. A rather sad reality check from a career where he made just over $97 million in career earnings in the NBA. And for the first time ever, we actually have a tie at the number 2 spot featuring Christian Laettner, another NBA star who faced involuntary bankruptcy for owing up to $14 million to 5 creditors, which also included a rather futile attempt to buy the team the Memphis Grizzlies, for which he was able to secure $2.5 million from former teammate Scottie Pippen. Laettner's problems reportedly also started from bad real estate investments, and as reported by Sports Illustrated, according to Laettner's attorney, Hassan Zaveri, Fuller Street Development, which lists Laettner as a partner, recently received $28.3 million for a project in the West Village area of downtown Durham. Zaveri believes that the funds from this project could help settle Laettner's issues with the creditors. He finally reached an agreement to prevent involuntary bankruptcy, which involved a settlement for an undisclosed amount. And for someone with over $61 million in career earnings, it was a wrong turn of events and bad decisions at play once again that caused him to go broke. And finally, at number 1, we have Antoine Walker, and his list of career mishaps is a big one. To start with the numbers, he has made over $108 million in career earnings over the course of a 13-year stint in the league, which included winning an NBA title in 2006 with the Miami Heat and being a 3-time All-Star. And well, the money he earned was blown to death, and that led him bankrupt. But also, he's number 1 for a unique reason, that he has at least bounced back from his bankruptcy and bad decisions to some extent. Let's see where it all began. Well, coming into the league young, he had a similar problem to multiple other NBA stars, where he wanted to live a luxurious and flashy lifestyle, and a lot of his money was spent on these pointless material purchases. His investments also came at a bad time, as his real estate bets didn't take off in the wake of the Great Recession. It got worse, since he then had to file for bankruptcy under Chapter 7 in 2010, and this NBA star, who was the 6th overall pick in the 1996 draft, was a cautionary tale for future players. Reported by the Patriot Ledger and according to ESPN's Outside the Lines, he purchased a $2.5 million mansion for his mother in Chicago, as well as a $1.3 million home in Miami and a $4.1 million home in Chicago. During the bankruptcy declaration, he had total assets of $4.3 million and a debt of almost 3 times higher, amounting close to $12.7 million. Finally announcing he's debt-free and ready to move on in 2013, Walker, after his bankruptcy issues, became a part of EduCore, a financial literacy company helping athletes manage their money. Good for you, Antoine. And that brings us to the end of this video. Be sure to like it if you found it insightful, subscribe to our channel to join our growing community, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content. And also, let us know in the comment section which NBA star you know of who ended up broke, or any current NBA star who can go broke because of their flashy lifestyle. See you in the next one.